Yo. What up, Maritza? How's it going? Miss Liz, what's going on? Yo, how you doing? How you doing? Sunday night, getting ready. I head out this week for what's up, Liz? Head out this week for Minnesota, so I'm there all week. But I haven't scoped in a while, and I had to start. I was gonna start restructuring some things on Periscope, and so this is. I hear you. So this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start. I was wondering, where do I go from here? Where do I start bringing these scopes? And I think the biggest thing is I have a heart for the youth, and I have a heart to reach them. So I would like to share things with people that maybe they might not know. People that work with youth and maybe not been able to reach them. Things that questions you have or anything like that. So I'm going to get started. I have two people with me, but I don't care. It's great. What's your biggest fear? Or excuse me, how do you reach a youth in trouble? And that is a big open-ended question. And the thing about it is all youth are in trouble, to be honest with you. All our youth are in trouble because of what they're dealing with these days. So the biggest thing you have to know is, how do I reach youth? How do I get to them? How do I make them open up to me? Because we go and we go along and you might go talk to a youth, or you might know a youth even in your family, and from the surface you're going to talk to them and everything is going to be great. And they're going to tell you that everything is awesome, but it's not. And I could tell you, what's up, Megs? How you doing? But I can tell you that it's not okay, because they are dealing with things. And so the biggest thing is, how do I reach a youth in trouble? Well, the biggest thing is I'm going to tell you is you have to open up about something about your life, whether it be an experience that you've been through, something you may even be walking through at that point in time, or just overall, everyday stressors. I can tell you this, the times that I've shared my testimony at churches, when I have went and did that, I have had kids come up to me afterwards and tell me things about themselves that they have not told anybody. And so right there, I have inbox messages right now of places that I've been from youth that are struggling with self-harm. They're struggling with drugs. They're struggling with alcohol. They're struggling with everything under the sun. And the only reason why they were able to send me those messages or come to me after is because I was transparent and open about the things that I have been through. And so the biggest thing you have to do if you want to reach a youth in trouble is open up about yourself, something about them. They want someone honest. Absolutely. No question, Maritza. They want someone honest and transparent that they can see that the person is open. That's the first and foremost. You have to open yourself up to them. The second thing you need to do is you need to get on their level. One of the biggest things that I do is I ask the youth, you have to ask them, what is on your heart? Because 9 times out of 10, they won't just tell you. Get on their level. Talk to them about something that they're dealing with. Talk to them about things that they've been through, what music they may like. Listen to what they have to say. Because if you do not, they will not listen. And you will not get what you need to get out of them in order to be able to help them. So that is very important. So you need to be able to open up and be transparent about yourself and about struggles you've been through. And another thing is you need to get on their level and find out what they like, what they love to do, what they can do. Right now, I'm going to break down a myth. Right now, I'm going to break down a misconception about working with youth. There's people that say, oh man, I could never work with youth. I'm not young enough, or I'm not cool enough, or whatever it may be. And I'm going to tell you that is a lie, because I believe that everyone has a chance to work with youth, or open up to youth, or be able to mentor youth, because we are all youth. We have all been there. We know certain things that they go through. Now, yes, it's different nowadays. It's very different nowadays. we didn't deal, I'm 30 years old and I didn't deal with half the drugs that they're dealing with now in the bath salts and everything else. There's different things that they're dealing with, but we've all had struggles. They're struggling with their sexual identity. They're struggling with, loving God publicly. They're struggling with, I don't want to drink this weekend, but my friends are going to drink, so I have to go drink, or smoking weed. I'm mentoring a kid right now that does all that stuff, and he doesn't want to do it, but the only reason why he does is because of influences that he has around him. They make fun of him if he doesn't do it. So he's out smoking weed, he's out doing these things that he shouldn't be doing, all because of his influences around him. And when I get around him and I talk to him, he is a completely different person than the reports that I get back from people that are in his life. And it's because, one, I'll be honest with you, these people don't really open up to him, and they don't really listen to what he has going on. He was abandoned by his mother when he was like 9 years old. He doesn't have a biological father. He's living with grandpa and grandma right now. So it's tough for him. He feels like he's not wanted. And a lot of the times all we do is we scream at these kids and why don't you get that? But at the end of the day, that's what they're used to. And I'll be honest with you guys, kids are like dogs. They want to please you. And I don't mean that they're dogs in that form in a bad way. I mean, they want to please you. They want to be able to have you look at them and say, job well done. I'm glad you did it. That was awesome. But a lot of the times they just want attention, and they want to be able to get your attention. And sometimes that means doing some things that they don't necessarily agree with. So there's all these things, guys, when you're dealing with kids, you have to get to know them. You have to tell them. And when I see open up, don't say, when I was your age. No, you tell them about things that you've been through. I open up. I was an alcoholic for 10 years. I open up about that in my life. I make that known because it's something that Jesus Christ set me free from. Now, I'm talking to everybody here. I'm not talking to just believers, and I'm talking to everybody. I am a Christian, and I believe that you should be a Christian. I believe everyone needs Jesus. But I'm talking to everybody here, teachers, daycare providers, anything, organizations out there. I'm talking to anybody that works with youth. You have to be able to listen and remind them that they're older. Exactly. We are older and know better. But not even so much. Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. Thank you for bringing that up. You can't just sit there and say, well, I'm older than you, so I know what's better, blah, blah, blah. No, there is 19-year-olds that I know that are more mature than some 40-year-olds. So, they're not going to relate to that. They're going to relate to experiences that you've been through. And not only that, what they want to see is, how did you come out of that? Are you on the other side of that now? Or are you telling this to them as you're drinking a beer? Or drinking some whiskey, or whatever it may be, or smoking a joint. That's what they want to see. Because if you're doing that, and you're trying to tell them something, they will not listen to you. There's a family friend of mine that would always tell me that I need to quit drinking as he was drinking. So what would make me think what would make him think that I was going to listen to him? I wasn't going to. Because he had DUIs and he was always in trouble and he was drinking, but yet he was telling me that I shouldn't be. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. If you are going to talk to a youth about the choices that they're making, you need to make sure that you're making those same choices the choices that you're giving them. You need to make sure that you're making those same choices that you want them to make. It's just like we talk to our kids all the time about reading the Bible. Oh, you need to read the Bible. Well, are you reading the Bible? Because if you're not reading the Bible, why are they going to listen to you? You got to do this, you got to do that. Well, if you're not doing this and that, they're not going to listen. And so my thing is this: you have to be able to practice what you're saying to them. If you're not practicing it, don't talk to them. So get rid of the misconception that, just certain people. It's just like saying certain people right, and give them, and give them. Thank you, Maritza, for bringing that up. Give them the how you do it. How do you do it? Well, this is what you have to do, and you have to outline it for them. and tell them what they need to do. And don't give them a bunch of instructions at once. Something here and there that's going to see that they're, and I'm going to tell you this right now, working with youth. The first and foremost thing, guys, you're never going to see the change in the negative. So when they do something wrong and you try to change them, they will never change then. It's when they're doing something right and you praise them for that. That's when you'll see the behavior start to change. Because then they'll see, oh, wow, this feels good. And some little bit of encouragement goes a long ways, you guys. You have to be able to do this. Positive reinforcement. Exactly. You have to be able to do this. Because people think, oh, no. Well, no, you're never going to be able to do that and get the results you want to see when they're doing something negative and you try to correct them. It's when the positive reinforcement happens and you're like, hey, good job, get to do this. Because then that's when, if you want more of the same, you got to be able to encourage that. So this is the first scope of many, guys. I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to be bringing you a series of scopes. I had to restructure some things, but I'm going to be going to give people advice on how to work with youth because I've seen enough of it. Before I started speaking in music full time, I worked with kids for 5 years. And so this is what my specialty is in. And I can help you get to where you want to be in this situation. Because, believe it or not, everyone that works with youth isn't necessarily reaching the youth. So, let me say that again. Everyone that works with youth isn't necessarily reaching the youth. And you have to know, and if you want to know how to reach the youth, then you have to know how to get to them. And you have to know what to do. And don't just sit there from a distance and be private with them because they will not respect that. Transparency, people can relate to all day long. And as my good buddy Dave says, you don't have to be transparent about everything. Pick and choose what you're going to be transparent about. But make sure it's relatable. And make sure you get on their level. Love each and every one of you. God bless. And as always, all the glory to God. Be praying for me this week. I'm in Hutchinson, Minnesota a week. I got a show Tuesday night. Pray for the weather to be okay. And then I'm speaking at 2 schools this week. I will try to bring another scope this week. If not, I will bring one every single Sunday for sure. I know I'll bring more. Thank you, Maritza. I appreciate it. God bless you. You know me and you, Maritza, we're going to obviously connect on the Facebook group. Liz, great seeing you. I love you. Sorry I missed church today. I had some stuff to do afterwards. Hope everything's well over there. House of Deliverance, shout out. Give you guys all my love. Hope to see you guys all soon. Maritza, we'll talk on the group, obviously. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate that. Tell your dad I said hi. Give the little one, Liz, a little hi for me as well. And I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.